buddy boat, Neptune 2, and us guys on Anacam weighed anchor and made the huge passage of a whole 4 nautical miles from the Tobago Cays around to Saline Bay on the island of Carrriacou. It was short, it was sweet. It was a beautiful day to be out on the water. Sparkling seas, light breeze, a few fluffy clouds about, and lots of sunshine. It's good to catch up with good friends. It was True Colours, Banyan, Izzy R, and of course our buddy boat, Neptune 2. After a good night's sleep, we launched McKenna, jumped on board and went in to catch up with the crew of Neptune 2. Even though we'd stretched our legs and walked around and up and over one of the islands out at the Tobago Cays, it was good to explore a new island to us. One thing that is very consistent, where we make landfall in our dinghy happens to be the lowest point at sea level. Everything from there is uphill, and this hill was an absolute doozy. We met a young lady by the name of Shirley, and when she found out we were from Australia, she couldn't wait to show us the flag on her pants. There was some very interesting architecture on this island. On the third day, in Saline Bay, Carrriacou, we weighed anchor, waited for our buddy boat to do the same, and headed off once again. Our next planned stop would be Union Island. We were going to clear out from here, from the St Vincent and the Grenadines. This passage was another short one, with a total of 9 nautical miles to sail to get to where we would anchor. Some of the locals out in their very small boat, catching fish. The weather was about to throw a curveball at us as we noticed a fast approaching squall line. We sailed past the end of the runway for the Union Island airport. The fast approaching squall that I just mentioned is about to run over the top of us, with the winds picking up, the rains pelting down, but luckily the seas remain flat. Even in weather conditions like this, we still have to keep a very good watch out for other vessels as a game fishing boat crosses our path. We had no idea that someone had built a house out on the reef. We spotted Stephanie and Tim on their catamaran back there in the distance, just after we'd sailed into Clifton and back out again. We had taken the detour into Clifton and back out again. This allowed Neptune 2 to get ahead of us, so they showed us the way around to Chatham Bay. And what a beautiful spot Chatham Bay turned out to be. It was calm, was out of the ocean swell, and really good holding sand. It was time to go for a swim and check the anchor. I spotted something very interesting on the bottom, so Annie jumped in to also have a look. There were starfish everywhere. Not just starfish, these guys were on steroids. The reason for the swim was to check the anchor, and here it is, completely buried after only being pulled for less than half its length, and in it went. For the next few days, Annette and I had this fishing competition going. They weren't big enough to eat, but boy did we have fun. With all of our passports and boat papers in our backpacks, Gary and myself met Joseph, a local police officer, moonlighting as a taxi driver. Joseph drove us right across the island, from Chatham Bay all the way to the airport, so we could go through customs and immigration and have our passports stamped to clear out of St Vincent and the Grenadines. We could see the island of Carrriacou off in the background. That is where we sailed from only a few days ago. It was a narrow, winding road that followed the coastline right around. In next to no time, we were entering Clifton, the main centre on Union Island. We really love the difference in each village, each town and each city. They all have a character all of their own. We arrive at the airport so we can complete our customs and immigration clearance to head to Carrriacou. We managed to purchase a few provisions and backtracked all the way back across the island to where Joseph had picked us up. We thank Joseph very much for what he had done for us. The one thing to look forward to, it was all downhill from here. I found out the hard way what lack of traction I had in these sandals. Yeah, thanks to these sandals, I had 3 unplanned sit-downs as we walked down the hill, down to the beach where McKenna awaited our return. This trail was very rocky and very steep. I had bruises on the bruises by the time we got to the bottom. The walk up the hill and the walk back down again was about 1 hour each way. The drive across the island was a good 45 minutes each way. So it filled in most of the day just to do our clearance and bring some provisions back down to the boats. After a lot of effort, we finally make it back down to the beach where we left McKenna.
Thank you, sir.
I take Gary and his provisions back to Neptune 2.
Anybody home?
I head back over to Anakan, where Annie is awaiting my return, just as the rain starts to come down. With everything squared away, it's almost time to leave. Annie is having one last dip in the water. The anchor's up on the bow roller. It's time to get this show on the road. This will be our second last island we will stop at as we head south. Clearing in at Carrriacou clears us in to Grenada. This will be our longest passage in the last 3. As we leave Union Island, we can see Carrriacou just up ahead. We love the challenge of navigating to a new island, a new country. The customs and immigration procedures are always different, and the people are very different as well. We arrive safely and anchor in Tyrrell Bay, Carrriacou, and get ready to do our customs clearance first thing in the morning. As soon as we'd officially cleared in, it was time to get out and meet some of the locals. We went for a stroll to check out some of these amazing buildings on this island. We have this little joke amongst ourselves that ours is the white yacht down there with the mast on it. Back down through the boatyard to their pontoon where we left McKenna tied up. Thank you for watching, and keep a watch out for the next episode as we sail from here in Carrriacou down to Grenada.